You know, we all like to think we're smart, rational people, especially when we're making choices. But what if I told you that a lot of those choices are being secretly guided by a hidden force? It's a psychological trick, really, designed to nudge you toward a specific decision. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
So let's kick things off with a real-world puzzle. It comes from this really cool experiment by a researcher named Dan Ariely. He used something as simple as a magazine subscription page to uncover something pretty profound about our brains.
Okay, I want you to play along here. Imagine you're part of this study. On the next slide, you're going to see 3 options. All you have to do is pick the one that feels like the best deal to you. Ready?
All right, here they are. Option 1, online only for $59. Option 2, print only for $125. And option 3, print and web for the same price, $125. Just take a second. Which one are you leaning towards?
Well, if you're like most of the people in the actual study, your choice was probably a no-brainer. An incredible 84% of people went for that print and web bundle. Meanwhile, 16% chose the cheaper online-only option. But what about that middle choice, the print only for $125? Literally nobody chose it. 0. It seems totally useless, right? Just taking up space.
And this is where things get really weird. The researchers decided to run the experiment again, but this time they took out that useless option that nobody wanted. So now the choice was simple, just the $59 online version or the $125 bundle. What do you think happened? Whoa, the results just completely flipped on their head. Without that middle option, suddenly 68% of people chose the cheaper online subscription. The bundle just wasn't as appealing anymore. So that supposedly useless choice, it wasn't useless at all. It was secretly doing all the heavy lifting.
So this is the big question, isn't it? How can an option that is clearly a bad deal, one that nobody actually picks, have the power to completely reverse what we think is the best choice? What is going on inside our brains here?
Well, this strange and powerful phenomenon has a name. It's called the Decoy Effect. Sometimes you'll hear it called the Asymmetric Dominance Effect. But it's the same thing. And trust me, once you see how it works, you're going to start seeing it everywhere.
So here's the official definition. The decoy effect happens when you're choosing between 2 options and a third one gets introduced. This third option, the decoy, is what we call asymmetrically dominated. That's just a fancy way of saying it's clearly worse than one of the other options. Its entire job is to show up and make that other option look way, way better.
Let's make this super simple. Imagine you're at a concession stand. A small drink is $1. A large one is $2. That's kind of a tough choice, right? But what if they add a medium drink for $1.90? All of a sudden, that large $2 drink looks like an incredible bargain. That medium drink is the decoy. It's only there to make the large one seem like the obvious, smartest choice.
So for this whole thing to work, you need 3 main characters in the story. First, you have the target. That's the product they really, really want you to buy. Then you have the competitor. That's the other good option. And finally, you have the decoy. Its only job in life is to be compared to the target and lose badly, making the target look like a superstar.
Okay, so let's dig into the mechanics. How does this actually trick our brains? Well, at its heart, the decoy effect is all about making a hard decision feel really, really easy.
We've all been here, right? You're shopping for a new phone. You see phone A, it's $400 but has a ton of storage. And then there's phone B. It's cheaper, only $300 but has less storage. This is a tough call. It's a classic trade-off, and your brain has to do a lot of work to figure out what matters more, price or storage. But now, look what happens when they throw in a third option, phone C. And just look at it. It costs more than phone A, but gives you less storage. Compared to phone A, it's just a terrible deal. It makes no sense. It's our decoy.
And here's the mental shortcut our brain takes. We hate that difficult comparison between phone A and phone B. It's stressful. But the comparison between phone A and phone C? Oh, that's easy. Phone A is clearly better. And that feeling of getting a clear win makes us feel good about phone A and pushes us to choose it, even though we never really solved that original hard problem.
All right, now that we know the mechanics, let's circle all the way back to that magazine subscription and see how all the pieces fit together. It's the perfect aha moment.
So here's the master plan revealed. The cheap $59 online subscription, that was the competitor. The $125 print and web bundle, that was the target they wanted everyone to buy. And that print-only subscription for the exact same price, that was the perfectly crafted decoy. It was designed to make you think, wait a minute, for the same price I can get print and web? That's a fantastic deal.
And the result? Oh, it worked like a charm. With that simple decoy just sitting there, a staggering 84% of people chose the more expensive option.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The decoy's impact is absolutely massive. With it, 84% of people picked the expensive target. Without it, that number plummets to just 32%. A single, unwanted option completely changed how almost everybody made their decision.
Okay, so you might be thinking this is some kind of unbeatable mind control trick, but it's not. It's a powerful tool for sure, but it's a precision instrument. It only works under very specific conditions.
So for this to really work, you kind of have to be on the fence between the first two options already. If you already know what you want, a decoy isn't going to change your mind. It also helps if both features, like price and quality, are things you actually care about. And the decoy itself has to be just right, bad enough to make the target look great, but not so ridiculous that you just ignore it. And most importantly, that comparison has to be a no-brainer. Super simple and obvious, so your brain can take that easy shortcut.
So really, the bottom line is this. A single, seemingly irrelevant, unattractive option has the hidden power to completely reframe how we feel about and how we choose between the other options on the table.
So the next time you're looking at pricing for a coffee, a streaming service, or a new phone, look for it. Look for that third option that just feels a little off. Because now that you know how the decoy effect works, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. And the real question is, will it still work on you?